Okay, we are in the month of Tevet. This is this month that we're in now. And the truth is, the month of Tevet is actually considered maybe the harshest of all months. Okay, the tragedies that happened there, there's a fast day. And the sages say it was really it's in a certain way, it's a quintessential fast because it was the beginning of the fall. It's when Babylon surrounded Jerusalem. So much so that in Jewish law, if it fell on Shabbos, you would still fast on that day. Other tragedies happened in this time. It's the darkest time of year, the month of Teves. Many other reasons why we understand it's a negative, it has a negative connotation. It's Capricorn, which is the Gedi. That's a goat. That is what's the phrase we refer to Esav. Esav is the seir, he's a goat. And the sages tell us this is the power of the negativity of this month, and therefore in a certain way it's befitting that when we line it up with the tribes, it lines up the tribe of Dan. Dan was considered to be the lowest of all the tribes, right? Dan was actually the one when Moshe warned the Jews that maybe there is a family or Shevet or whole tribe that wants to go away from Hashem. He was thinking about Dan because Dan created an idol, the Pesel Micha, the idol of Micha. They set it up and they had it there for years. Dan was considered the lowest of all the tribes, and this is his month, Tevet. Dan was actually had members that were kicked out of the clouds of glory of the Anei Kavod. The Anan is pulled and the clouds pushed them out. They were outside. Now, that way, Dan is the lowest in this tribe, but this month in a certain way is the lowest. But we have to understand, like in everything, there's a much deeper understanding. If you take a line has a top, has a middle, and has an end. But if you could take the end and find a way to make the line into a circle, you could do that by taking the bottom part and connecting it back to the top. And that's the deeper understanding of what Dan is. Dan is the lowest part. But when Dan is going to connect back up to the top, then you'll see Dan's greatness. Who's the top? Which is the top tribe? That's Yehuda. He's the king. He's called the lion, right? That's the blessing that Yaakov gives him. Gurar, he's a lion. If you look, you'll see Moshe gives Dan the same blessing. He calls him a Gurar, the same blessing. He calls him a lion too. Well, how can they both be lions? Well, a lion has a front and has a back. But it's one lion. Yehuda is the leader. He is the top. Dan is the bottom. He's also a lion. How is he a lion? What does it mean that he was pushed out of the camp, out of the clouds of glory? It doesn't only mean he was pushed out because he was bad. He's called the Ma'asiv HaMachnos, the gather in of the tribes. So simple meaning is, Rashi says, if somebody lost something, Dan was in the back. They were pushed out. They would find it. But Rashi means something much, much deeper. He would find the lost souls that were pushed out. Well, how does that work? If he's the lowest, how does he find the lowest souls? The answer is because sometimes in life you go through challenges and difficulties, and you can now relate to where people are coming from. Dan, with all of the challenges, his name is Din, his judgment, with all what he had going on, he also then was able to relate to the lowest part of the people and elevate them. And when he does that, he takes the lowest part of the line and connects it back to the top. And that's why when it came time to build the Mishkan, the tabernacle, it was Betzalel from the tribe of Yehuda. And who else? Oholiab ben Achisamach from the tribe of what? Of Dan. They were combined. Even when Shlomo built the Beis HaMikdash, he took from Dan. Because they always have to be there. The top and the bottom have to connect to become one line, to become one unit. And that's why the Medrash says that Mashiach himself will be born from Yehuda on the male side. We know it's from Yehuda, but on the woman's side, the female side, the mother is going to be from Dan. That's the quality. This is not easy pushed out. What it means is, yes, he's had some hard times. He's outside, and now he can see the problem, go into the problem itself, and pull out the Jews, that was their leader, was Shimshon. That's how he fought them. He went into the Plishtim and pulled out from there. And by the Jews, you go into them, understanding when a person has a problem, and pull out the goodness that's inside. And that's why the month of Tevet, although it is the darkest time of the year and the greatest problem, has a unique quality. Hanukkah literally straddles the 2 months. It's amazing. Hanukkah, which is starting in Kislev, though, always hits the beginning of Teves, always hits that the darkest time itself will turn into the greatest time of light, when you're able to see through the darkness, see through our challenges, see through our shortcomings, see through other people's shortcomings, and find a way to pull it out, and then become connected to be all one aspect of the lion, Surashem. All the best.